The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Oh yeah, creatures of the night. It's sexy time on Flesh Wound After Dark. I am Flesh Wound Dan, joined by producer Todd.
I'm about to leave. You're about to do it. So
Damn. Well, I'm just trying to get everybody in the sexy Halloween spirit. We've been waiting to talk about this trilogy tonight for a long time, so set the mood.
do not ever set the mood with me in your presence, Dan.
Damn. Well, we are here tonight to talk the Embrace the Darkness trilogy, which has some familiar names, particularly as we go on in the trilogy, which I'm excited to talk about. And so doing well tonight, Todd?
You keep asking.
Enjoying your Halloween season so far?
Sure.
Well, there you go. Well, I hope so. It's going well for me. Watching a lot of cool movies, both new and old, and it's going well. So tonight we are here again to talk about the Embrace the Darkness trilogy, and we'll get into the first Embrace the Darkness right here, right there, sexy cover from 1999, and director Kelly Coffin. And in this film, in a dark tale of passion and pain, a pair of hungry vampires descend upon L.A. with secrets and desires unlike those of any mortal. Galen and Miranda are seeking converts for their blood-drinking cult when unexpectedly Galen falls in love with a beautiful mortal named Jennifer. Jealous of her new rival, Miranda befriends Jennifer and seduces her into rapturous sex. But Jennifer longs only for Galen, who uses his evil powers to give her eternal life. Will Galen's undying love for Jennifer leave them to wander the earth as lovers forever, or will Miranda get in the way of their plan for eternal love? All right, so these are from Mystique Films, I believe was the company, but these essentially were Playboy TV productions, which back in the day, if you were lucky to have that, that's where you.
I believe that's a little off. They were produced for Playboy TV. They weren't in-house Playboy productions.
Okay, that might have changed towards the end. I'm not 100% positive, but I know there was some like Playboy TV.
No, there was stuff that was in-house and out-of-house, and that's one of the out-of-house ones. No different than any other network airing someone else's programming.
Did you have Playboy TV back in the day, Todd?
I did for a while.
Yeah, I did too. Unfortunately, not all the time, but there was some interesting programming on there. I feel like most people didn't have it. I don't hear a whole lot of talk about it back in the day. It was kind of like one of those things like, why won't they give us a free preview, please?
Well, they did. They gave you that tax day discount where you got it for like $1. Channel 595, DirecTV. Dan knows it.
No, yeah, there you go.
It's like 595. Got it.
Just etched in the brain for life at this point. So
you remembered it too, correct? I'm just assuming you did.
I did. I was a little surprised you recalled that. So
I busted it out on you. You want to know why I ordered Playboy TV, Dan?
What would it have been at specific?
You're not gonna guess.
Was it Sex Court?
Nope.
Okay,
their uncut videos block was playing Tupac's How Do You Want It, the uncut, uncensored version. So I had to get Playboy TV to watch it. There's your answer.
That is awesome.
It's on brand for me, so it makes sense.
I'd love to see some old blocks of just Playboy TV.
Yeah.
It's been so fucking long. I'm sure there's a lot of shit that I've just forgotten about.
Well, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Totally Busted.
Yeah.
If they can bring scare tactics back, someone can bring back Totally Busted.
Bring back Playboy TV. We need to start this. Yeah, demand it. Demand it. We'll start a petition. All right. So I'll talk a little bit about the director, Kelly Kaufman. He has a history in softcore. He directed Indecent Behavior 3, Fast Lane to Malibu, Deadly Charade, Surrender, Bear Witness, among others. He also produced a lot of different softcore. He even worked on iCarly, the kids show. So he has jumped around. That's a big leap from Embrace the Darkness to iCarly. This one stars the beautiful.
Maybe he was looking out for future casting.
That's awful. Did he work for Nickelodeon? I don't know.
I wasn't iCarly Nickelodeon. I don't know. Could have been Disney.
Was it? I don't know. I know my nieces watched it.
Well, at least we don't know, so that's good for both of us. Neither of us know where the hell iCarly aired.
I know it was a thing, so I think it probably had to be. Was that or Disney? I don't know.
It was one of those two.
Yeah.
My joke works better if it was Nickelodeon.
We'll just say Nickelodeon. Nobody watching this.
Somebody in the chat is going to be like, yeah.
Actually, I am a big Embrace the Darkness fan, and I have all iCarly on DVD.
If you do, you need to tell us. Yeah.
So this one stars Madison Clark as Jennifer. Really wasn't in a lot, but she does have the distinction of being a stripper in both Showgirls from '95 and From Dusk Till Dawn.
And what more can you accomplish in your career once you've done both of those things? I think she hung
it up. Yeah,
she hit the magnum opus. It was like, I'm done. Time to retire. Couldn't lick my feet. I'm good.
She's gorgeous. And another thing I'll say off the bat about the Embrace the Darkness trilogy is it doesn't ignore the movie that came before. Jennifer's in all three, played by a different actress, which we'll get into. But it kind of picks up where they leave off, which is nice, because as we've reviewed on a lot of the erotic thriller shows we've done, sometimes it was just like, whatever, we're just you're the villain in this one. And even outside of erotic thrillers, Andy Sidaris was notorious for that. I mean,
well, I think they weren't expecting psychopaths like us to watch every one of their films. They were just trying to drop stuff into the theater. Who cares? You've seen the other ones. Here you go.
It was just like, yeah, you were the villain in this one, but you're the commando in this one, or you're the hooker with a heart of gold.
Sometimes they made it make sense, like Buff. Is it any difference than the Fast and the Furious? Aren't like the BFFs now after like Jason Statham tried to kill them all? So it doesn't matter. There you go.
It's like Fast and Furious fans, they're too stupid to remember.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. Yeah, maybe they were stealing from Andy Sidaris. That was their whole gimmick. That was their gimmick.
Another name that should have been much bigger, I'm sorry, I'm saying her name wrong. Angelia High. She plays Miranda, the evil vampire girlfriend, and she really wasn't in much at all, just a few bit roles, and she was a guest star on the HBO series First and 10. This is really her only major thing. Very seductive, evil, great body. I thought she was fucking beautiful, but she unfortunately just one of those ones, just sort of in and out and didn't stick around the business. But I thought she was very good in this. This movie is 1999. Like you've got that. This is that era of the Hunger TV series and Anne Rice and everything. So you kind of get the vibe. They're very well made, I would say, for softcore movies. They look good, they're shot well, there's a little bit of action too, so they feel like real movies. And we do have as Galen the vampire, Kevin Spiritus. And if you're unfamiliar with that name, he's famous for playing Nick in Friday the 13th of the New Blood. He was also Roy in Hills Have Eyes 2, Prince Vladislas in Subspecies 2, 3, and 5. He had a good career. Mel in Subspecies, I should say Mel in Subspecies 2 and 3, Prince Vladislas in Subspecies 5, the last film. Really good actor. I guess he's really mostly known for Days of Our Lives. He was on a bunch of those. And another name, and I throw these out for a reason because they're not house.
I was going to throw out that I met him at my first weekend of horrors. He was there promoting Friday 7.
Oh, nice. I've met him too. He's really cool. I have his autograph on a Friday 7 poster. And last but not least, Brad Bartram, who I'm not 100% sure, but I think he might have actually have been at the We Kill for Love premiere that we were at. Not 100% positive about that. If the director watches this, he might correct us. But Brad Bartram is a veteran of the softcore scene and erotic thrillers. I mean, he was in Sex Files 2, Sex Court the movie, Bewitched Housewives, Ghost in a Teeny Bikini, Sinful Deeds, Bikini Airways, particularly bikini movies. That was like his bread and butter.
You saw it in the title. Sign me up.
Yeah. If you watched a lot of these movies, you will recognize him because he did a lot. He did have a mainstream film, Twisted Nightmare, which I've talked about. That's a
mainstream's a loose word, but I get what you're trying to say.
He wasn't miming a 69 in that one, but yeah,
Twisted Nightmare, I think mainstream's a huge stretch.
It's a fun
a non-sex picture, maybe.
It's one I've always liked, a fun cheesy slasher from the 80s, Cleve Hall. I always like Twisted Nightmare. So that's kind of the cast we're dealing with. Like I said, these movies are a little more plot driven, but have all the softcore sex that you could want. The sex scenes are shot very well. Again, everybody's beautiful, and the two main girls in this, they don't look the same, so you get some variety here. And I really enjoyed it. I think there's some funny scenes in here as well. Chemistry works. I get why these movies that they even gave that box set to back in the day. I'm curious because there's like no reviews of this anywhere really in video form. So I'm kind of curious anybody to comment this video and let us know if you enjoyed them back in the day, because I feel like there's a lot of people that probably saw these. So I'm glad that we're finally highlighting them. So if you like vampire movies, ironically, we talk Subspecies. This is, obviously very sexed up, but if you enjoy erotic vampire stories, I think these are worth checking out. Again, it's not just
you're not saying they yet, Dan. You're specifically talking about this one.
This one, yes, this one so far, good Gia style lesbian scene on a fence as well, which I think they stole from the year before. What'd you think about this one?
I think you liked it a lot more than me.
Really?
I do feel like I've always liked one of them in particular.
Okay.
Which we'll get to, obviously.
I suspect I know.
Yeah, you absolutely know which one. And I think that may have been the thing for me. I don't really have a connection to this one. So this is like, I know I've seen it, but it was really a first time. Like, the girls were not like the typically ones I choose for this. It kind of fell in the whole vampire thing. I didn't dislike the story. Something about it didn't click. And I don't know if it was just that the girls, I wasn't, all about like you were.
The vampire soap opera vibe doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know what it was in this one. I didn't, like I said, I didn't dislike it. I just think you liked it a lot more than me. And it kind of had some of the like, okay, I just want to kind of fast forward through these like 10-minute long sex scenes because I wasn't like super into the girls like you were. So I kind of had that as my issue on this one. But I do think it's well made. I think it's a solid picture. It just, yeah, I don't know. Just wasn't for me. I don't want to say it wasn't for me. It just, I knew I was waiting to get to a better one. I think that was the biggest problem. But yeah, like and I like some of the casting changes moving forward. So
okay,
it was just more of a case of me like not being in love with these girls. I mean, they're beautiful girls, just
I could make a case that this was the best Jen in this one. Yeah, no, I mean, you may not gel with it, and if you're unfamiliar with this era, again, it's hard to say where you will fall, but I consider these classics of their genre, the softcore genre.
Yeah.
And even though, I mean,
but see, you brought it up earlier, the Anne Rice and all that stuff. I don't like those movies. I don't like it. So you're giving me that style of a vampire movie, and you're not, and the girls, I'm kind of like, okay. I mean, the purpose of watching this as a 13-year-old is not the plot. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at the girls, and if they're, I'm trying not to be. I'm being, Why did we watch these movies when we were younger?
You will grant me though better storyline than the typical softcore film, because I feel like, number one, it had one.
I can't answer that question because it's a vampire story, and it falls in the whole I don't really care about modern vampires. You were distracted by nudity and lesbianism, so I knew there was no way you weren't going to love this one.
Well,
I totally get it.
Usually, I don't like the Anne Rice type stuff. I mean, vampires for me.
Lesbianism and nudity. You were good.
Well, I'm very much the same. I mean, vampires for me, Universal, Hammer, classic vampires, modern vampire type movies. There are more than a few that I do.
They do like Modern Vampires, the movie. So go figure.
Modern Vampires is a blast. But no, I think this one's interesting enough, even between the sex scenes. But that's me. So you'll be lower, obviously. What do you rate it?
I'm a 2.5. I figured this one's right in the middle. I'm like I said, I didn't think it just wasn't clicking for me. And I think if we had some of the cast from some of the later films, I would have been more interested.
Rating it on a scale of softcore films, I give it a 4. I really, it gave me everything I could possibly want out of this type of movie. So that's the first Embrace the Darkness. All right, so moving on to our second film, Embrace the Darkness 2. They keep it pretty simple. And here he goes. Here's the, again, very beautiful cover art there. And this one is from 2002 and director Robert Kubelos. And in this film, Jennifer Slane has been unwillingly indoctrinated into an eternal life as a vampire. When they see that her hunger for primal sex is rivaled only by her thirst for blood, the other vampires show her a training ground where mortals serve only to satisfy the vampire's sexual desires and carnal hunger. And now Jen's boyfriend, with the help of a vampire hunter, devises a plan to save her. But they may be in over their heads because danger and passion are the only laws when the dark creatures come out to embrace the darkness. So once again, same Jen, different actress. In this one, she is played by Renee Rea. And Renee Rea is not a name you may know, but you may know her alter ego, Samantha Hollister. She is an adult film star, or an adult film star more in the fetish realm. She's known for bondage, feet, and tickling. But she was also in Forbidden, Voyeur Confessions, Fast Lane to Malibu, and the sequel Fast Lane to Vegas. So she
those are interactive movies. Those are actually pretty cool.
Yeah, we should cover those sometimes. I was going to say.
No.
Very sexy. She looks totally different. Short-haired, blonde lady, but very attractive. Also playing Lizzie, our kind of evil or naughty vampire in this one, she's played by Catalina Larinaga. Hopefully I'm saying the name right. She was in Surrender, Hidden Beauties. I Like to Play Games too. That's a good one. Sexual Intentions, Bear Witness, and Castle Eros. She did have one non-softcore movie. It's a creature feature called King Cobra with Pat Morita. And that is one of the early ones from the late 90s that kind of really set the tone for the Sci-Fi Channel creature feature trend that is still going strong this day.
It's in that creature feature 4-pack too, Lionsgate put out.
It is. Rounding out some of the notable cast, we have April Flowers, who's also an adult film star. She was in the Dirty Angel series, but she was also in Cheerleader Massacre from Jim Wynorski. She was in Donald F. Glutt's Mummy's Kiss, so she's done some horror and softcore stuff as well. And of course, Jezebel Bond, adult film starlet as well. She's very well known. She's got some funny titles. Ass Like Whoa. Just Lick My Balls. That one's just straight and to the point. And she's also worked with XPW legend Tom Byron quite a bit. But yeah. And Rub the Muff too, Todd. I know you're waiting for that 4K of Rub the Muff too.
Absolutely.
But hopefully soon. But getting into the film, one thing that I like about this series is just the character progression of Jen. She's starting to become a little more comfortable as a vampire at this point. This is the most explicit of the three movies. In fact, this one, and I never saw it, but I kind of got the vibe this one may have had XXX inserts at some point, because there's a couple shots, at least on the cut that I'm watching on the DVD, where it actually looked kind of clear that there was some penetrating going on. There's some explicit back shots, and this one's, yeah, there's some b-hole, and very rare for a softcore movie, one for the ladies, but there's some dangling brains and erect dongs going on here. That's very rare. So I'm wondering at some point if this one would have had a XXX cut.
Well, if they were shooting for Playboy, all the stuff that they do, they'd be fine. So that's like the line of like what's okay for Playboy. Yeah. So like maybe they just went to there and didn't do the hardcore stuff because they knew it was going to be a hard sell.
Yeah, it's
and you got a bunch of porn stars. You guys want to bang while whatever for Playboy.
Yeah, no, there's some very explicit shots in this one, and particularly with dudes, like they made sure, like, brains cut, like, cover up the brains. If you watch, you rarely catch that in these kinds of movies.
But that's more if you're thinking like the Skinamax movies, not the Playboy TV movies.
This is true, but I still feel like it was somewhat rare.
Well, no, because you have to remember, we get those trimmed porn versions, and they were cutting out the insertion, but everything else was cool. You could see dangling brains
for some, but like this one's unusual because it started off again a little more like that first one didn't have any XXX.
Well, I get that, so they may have upped it for Playboy come the second one.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just like, because from what I've seen, this is the hardest cut there is.
Yeah, this is I would assume so. I've never come across anything.
Yeah, because then I don't know where else it would air. See, that's the thing.
Yeah,
like it wouldn't air on Playboy. It wouldn't air on any of the pay-per-view, or hotels, because they cut the same way Playboy does.
Yeah.
So, and it would have to be released on a physical thing, and they weren't going to make money off a big box version of Embrace the Darkness 2, other than maybe Dan and me.
yeah, I will legit pay a Vinegar Syndrome price point for a box set on Blu-ray. But I know we're not the norm. But yeah, so I mean, we kind of kick it off. Jen is kind of depressed. She gets consoled by Peter and ends up kind of arriving at this vampire sanctuary where it's Jack and Lizzie are more seasoned vampires who kind of take her under their wing, and it's another it's got another kind of love triangle story going on, so it's kind of similar that way.
I feel this one picks up from the first one and like really not only keeps the story going, but it kind of elevates it a bit. I feel like the first one was just a warm up, and this is when we really kick it into gear. Like as much as I kind of put the first one in the middle, where this one, I think I can see, the story getting bigger, and I do like this one.
This one's more trashy, while the first one, like you said, has that sort of classy, sultry Anne Rice vibe. This one's more trashy.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing.
But for this kind, and some of the trashy comes because we're seeing brains too. So I think this one being a little bit more explicit. Which I don't want to
it's not just like cock and balls here, guys. You get the ladies, don't worry. But
this isn't a modern comedy now where all you see is balls.
No, you're okay. You're safe. Renee Rea is not a very good actress, though, compared to the first one. So that's kind of where it's downgraded a little bit. I thought Catalina Loranaga as Lizzie, I thought she was very good as the villain in this. I enjoyed her. We throw in Van Helsing into the story, which is kind of cool to see. So again, it's still story driven, which also kind of surprises me with the more graphic stuff, but very entertaining, worth watching. I'm oddly enough, I guess with this one, I go classy over trashy, which is not something you'll hear me say very often, but I preferred the first one. And
what do you rate this one?
On this one, I'm a 3. It's still definitely well above average, but I'm a 3.
Yeah, well, we're kind of getting closer to each other now. I'm a 3 on this one also.
Okay. There we go. All right.
Now the one I was waiting for the whole time, just like I was waiting to get to it while watching the first 2 movies. I may have done myself a disservice marathoning them all in one night because I was really waiting to get to the third one.
You were just waiting for the main event, which is Embrace the Darkness 3. And we'll get into why.
Also from I was gonna say also from 2002.
Also from 2002, same director, Robert Kubelos. And in this film, journey to the forbidden places where even the most demanding appetites are fed. Led by 200-year-old Victor Chamberlain, the city's vampires partake in secret late-night rituals. When Victor meets Jennifer, a vampiress who is still ignorant about her new life of darkness, he senses a dark gift which even she hasn't discovered. He introduces her to the true spoils of being a vampire, including the secret sex parties he holds each night. He claims he can make all her dreams come true, but he's setting her up to take her power. All right, so a little bit about the cast first. One thing actually before I talk about the cast, because this is kind of a theme throughout the movies, but I thought it was particularly good here, but great music. This had some very catchy songs by Trisha Freeman, and they all had really good scores, which if you've watched the excellent We Kill for Love documentary, that's one thing a lot of these movies had, particularly the erotic thrillers. They tended to have some shockingly good music and scores. But all right, on to the cast. This one, Jennifer, is played by another XXX star, Chelsea Blue.
I have a trivia fact for you don't know. We'll go
for Chelsea Blue.
Yes. We share a birthday, not just a birthday, the exact same day and same year.
Oh, Oh, okay. Nice.
Random Todd fact. There you go.
I thought this was another girl you would have stalked at the pool or something, Todd, back in the day.
Well, one, I never stalked any girl, and
you just
I know what. Okay.
I mean, I was just, you leave your windows open, and I just happened to have
Dan,
a
see, no, you're turning me into you. No, my friend. Yes, do not.
It was a pool. It's okay to look at pretty girls. It's all good. I'm not shaming. But you know what Chelsea Blue is special for me? On top of being absolutely gorgeous, back in the day in the 90s, and I know you'll know this name well, but she was regular for Pussy Man, who is a big deal in the Triple X.
It was never a big Pussy Man guy. I know you're all about him.
You know what? It may just be that it's early adult films that I saw, and he did some unique gimmicks and everything. Yeah. So that's just me. I know she was in several of those.
I even back then I wasn't going for the Gonzo. Only one that got the pass was Seymour Butts, and that was because he was entertaining. Taylor Hayes did not hurt either at the beginning.
I love Seymour Butts. That he holds a special place in my heart as well. And so she was also in Virgin Hunters 3, Agents of Passion. And Castle Eros. She tried to go legit, and it's a shame because it never really happened, but Drop Dead Gorgeous, one of the prettier adult stars of her era, and I think somebody who, if they gave her a chance, might have been able to do some more mainstream stuff. If anybody knows what she's up to now, I'd be curious if she's still working in anything at all or what's going on with her, because I am a big fan of hers, and I considered her a big deal back in the day. We also have in this one Glenn Meadows, who plays Sean, the reporter. He was a series regular on Black Tie Nights, another series from the Skinamax era. He was also in the Hotel Erotica series, and did some movies like Blood Fist 2050, which is a sci-fi version of Blood Fist, the only one not starring Don the Dragon Wilson, and was also in Delta Delta Die.
Oh, okay.
And Emmanuel Tango. I'm not 100% on this, so I'm not trying to report it as fact, but believe he might have dated Tiffany Shepis at one point.
I was gonna say Delta Delta Die with co-star, because you keep making me wait. You haven't said she's in it yet, so.
And I'm gonna make you wait just a couple more because well, spoiler alert. I guess we'll just do it now. Tiffany Shepis is in this, and
Super Tromet, bulimia. Tiffany Shepis, yes, Troma original. So obviously, I already love this movie.
I don't need to run down Tiffany Shepis's credits. I'll segue back to that, but this also features Maya Zatoli, who's in 13 Erotic Ghosts, which I love that one. Great Julie Strain softcore comedy. She was also in the Mummy's Kiss series, as well as Blood Scarab, Bad Business with Master P, and she did like Dungeon of Desire and Slaughter Studios for Corman, one from the 2000s that I like quite a bit. And last but not least, we have Holly Hollywood, who's a notable Triple X starlet. She was also in some of the Emmanuel in Space stuff. But all right, so Tiffany Shepis, since I teased it long enough, this is, if you're a fan of Flesh Wound, you're probably a fan of Tiffany Shepis. This is really probably her more explicit stuff. At this point, it's funny watching this because it's very much just a softcore film, and
well, you have to remember, technically, Vanessa Lynch starred in this one. She did
Vanessa Lynch, yes,
she did not use her real name,
but she hadn't broken out yet. I mean, this is 2002, so I mean, she is with Troma. But this is just getting to that point where, she starts doing stuff like Death Factory.
Yeah, I believe this is after her move to California. I mean, it would make sense because, I can't remember what year, but timeline wise, doesn't it take place? No, she's already in California when Troma's Edge TV starts. But Yeah, I don't know when because I know she was New York based, obviously, with all the Trauma stuff and Romeo and Juliet before she came out west and really started her career.
Yeah, at this point starts to appear in like just everything. She plays Anna in here, the assistant to Sean, who's kind of reporting on this evil businessman Victor, played by Ty Winstone. And yeah, so you could see the star power with her like immediately. Just there was something about her. Even something like Death Factory, it's not that it's some fantastic movie, but you looked at her and you were like, this is a fucking star. And she kind of flirted with going to some bigger projects. She definitely stuck with horror. But I'm very happy with that because she was always amazing. And this is a good early look at her. She's not the star of the film, but again, if you want to see some more explicit bump and grind, not explicit as in Embrace the Darkness 2. I don't think there was any XXX cut out there with Tiffany. So if there was, we would have found it. But yeah, so
yeah, we would have, yeah.
Some of the other spicier stuff.
All the other lost media complaints would have been searches would have been nothing compared to ours.
That it would have been like a Lord of the Rings scenario where we all just would have been like following any leads, like just walking the country trying to find the video store collector who had it. But yeah, so that's a good selling point for this.
And I think Tiffany's probably the first person like I followed from Troma, like no matter what they were in. I mean, there's obviously after her there was Trent Haga and obviously James Gunn's. It's hard not to pay attention to what he's doing now. But yeah, so always a special place in my heart from all the Troma stuff. So obviously this was she never did any nudity in Troma, so her Troma works pure. So, but everything else, like, yeah,
I don't think she could when she started.
I believe yes, yes. I don't make it a Tracy Lords weird thing, Dan.
No, but yeah.
To be fair, at the time, I was only 3 years older than her. I wasn't like perving out. You know what I mean? A little different.
Lloyd was checking the IDs.
I believe she was born in 79, and actually, I'm gonna double check. Same year as my wife, I believe. Yeah,
nice,
79,
nice.
September 11th, 79. So there you go.
There you go.
Same birthday as Paul Heyman.
There you go.
I won't mention the other two things.
She would have been great in ECW too, but so yeah, I mean, she's adorable. She's really funny in this. It's a good early look at her, and but yeah, Chelsea Blue. I enjoyed this one much better than the second one overall. It's another one that, again, we followed Jen's arc through these 3 movies. Now
and see, that's the thing. I like the story, as a grand thing. It's just that first movie doesn't click with me because we continued on the third or into the second. And by we hit the third, I feel like, again, I might be slightly biased, but we're really firing on all cylinders by the third one.
Yeah. No, it would have been interesting to see it continue because, they kind of set it up that it could, although it does kind of end. I mean,
yeah.
I like that it opened up with her just like, oh, no, sick of you, just kick you right out into the sun because fuck you. I thought that was pretty badass. She has some special abilities in this one. She's kind of a day walker. She can do things.
Yeah, that was like, I was like, all right, this is different.
Yeah, they don't fully explain it, but
Blade just got a hold of her and busted a couple of I guess day walking is sexually transmittable.
So like I said, great music in this one. I thought everybody had really good chemistry. Tiffany's scene with Sean, very nice. Some dining at the Y and Tiffany's famous booty on display there. As far as the rest of it goes, I mean, again, the sex scenes I think all deliver here. So I don't think too many people are going to be disappointed. I did think it was really funny at one point. She wants to get a book. cheaper, so she kind of just, you know, Jedi mind tricks this this sweet old lady. But then she and Sean just like fuck in her like library. It's like she just leaves and they just start fucking like right there. I thought that was some funny softcore logic. Like, whatever, she's not gonna say anything.
Fuck
She's
it.
Jedi mind tricked at this point. So yeah, this one, I think this one's a lot of fun. It's, again, you get a couple of those really good scenes with Tiffany, and more action in this one too. There's some martial arts stuff at the end. All of it, they put a little bit more into this trilogy than they would the typical softcore thing. Vampire things like this, like, you may see them flash their fangs and that's about it, but this tries to do a little bit more. So what do you rate this one, Todd?
Again, I'm 100% biased. I'm gonna give it a 5 on the nudity. I almost gave it a 4.5, but I'm yeah, this one is a must watch of all. Even if you're not a Tiffany fan, I think this is the strongest of the 3.
Well, you know, I love Tiffany as well. So you know what? I will give this one a 5.
Wow.
Well.
I was expecting a 4.5 out of you, Dan.
Tiffany did a lot of, nudity. She was no stranger to that. I mean, up to a certain point, it was almost, more likely than not. But again, she didn't do any other truly softcore stuff. She had a sex comedy and a few things like that.
Yeah, she I mean, there's, then she has her, some slasher nudity. I know Bloody Murder 2 was a big deal until this.
Abominables and other Bonnie and Clyde versus Dracula has a really nice tub scene. We won't run down all of her nude appearances.
We're trying to be respectful. We respect Tiffany
a little bit. We love her. So yeah, guys, let us know. Check these out. I don't know how hard the DVDs are to come by now. They actually did come in a box set. So if you can,
they're still around. I don't know. They haven't got crazy prices yet. You can still get them semi-reasonable.
Okay. Yeah. Let us know what you think. Do you remember these movies? Do you remember Playboy TV? What was your favorite thing about Playboy TV? Let us know in the comment section. And and you're welcome. Because if you're unfamiliar with it and you're a Tiffany Shepis fan, you'll be very happy. So guys, thanks for checking out all of the daily Halloween content on the channel. There's a lot up right now, a lot of cool stuff still coming. And patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. It all starts at just $1. We appreciate it. There's a lot of exclusive stuff as far as After Dark goes. We have an entire series review episode by episode for Femme Fatales. That was a lot of fun. You can check that out there. And our free Discord. Get on there. It's a blast. A lot of cool people on there. So on that note, good night, children of the night.
All right, Dan made it weird. Money. No, I don't see. Now I don't want to do Money's on the Dresser, but damn it, Money's on the Dresser. Good night.